Hello, students. Welcome to our current affair class series. In this class, we will discuss some important current affairs. So, आज की क्लास में हम 12 अगस्त 2024 के कुछ important current affairs डिस्कस करेंगे. So, स्टार्ट करते हैं आज की क्लास. In this class, first we will discuss some important national news of India. Then we will discuss some important international news. Then we will discuss some business news, some news related to the appointment. Then we will discuss some award news, some books and author news. Then we will discuss some agreement news, some defense news, obituaries, some important days which are very important for any competitive exams, and some miscellaneous news. So these are the topics we will cover in this session. These type of news we will cover. So the image used in our side deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property right of the original creator and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the image used in this deck and have any concern or issue, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. हमारे साइट डेक में उपयोग की गई छवियां केवल शैक्षणिक उद्देश्य के लिए हैं. हम इन छवियों के मूल रचनाकारों और मालिकों के बौद्धिक संपदा अधिकारों का सम्मान करते हैं. यदि आप इस डेक में उपयोग की गई किसी भी छवि के स्वामी हैं और आपको कोई चिंता या समस्या है तो कृपया हमसे sathi@iitk.ac.in पर संपर्क करें. हम छवियों को हटा दें. So let's start the session. Our first news is national news. Okay, let's read the news. The implementation of right to education and budget allocation for education. RTE का कार्यान्वयन और शिक्षा के लिए बजट आवरण. Let's decode the news. First, we have to understand the right to education, which was basically passed on 2009. The Right to Education Act 2009, also known as RTE Act 2009, it was enacted by Indian Parliament of India. Means इसे कहाँ से पास किया गया था? भारतीय संसद से पास किया गया था on 4th of August 2009. So शिक्षा का अधिकार या राइट टू एजुकेशन अधिनियम 2009 को बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टेट्स हैं as of August 7, 2024. There are some states including Punjab, Telangana, Kerala and West Bengal. These states have not yet implemented the Right to Education Policy 2009, which was enacted by or passed by Parliament of India. So अभी जो हम ये न्यूज़ डिस्कस कर रहे हैं इसमें हमें समझना जरूरी है दैट पंजाब, तेलंगाना, केरला एंड वेस्ट बंगाल ने अभी तक इस अधिनियम को लागू नहीं किया है. ये इंफॉर्मेशन अभी राज्यसभा से बेसिकली पास हुई है जिसमें अभी इन स्टेट को इंडिकेशंस दिए गए हैं कि जल्दी से जल्दी वो राइट टू एजुकेशन 2009 को इंप्लीमेंट करें अपने स्टेट में. Now, what is RTE 2009? What is the major focus of Right to Education 2009? Basically, the major purpose of the Right to Education Act 2009 is to provide free and compulsory education for children aged between 6 to 14 years in India under Article 21A, which is our fundamental right. हम सबको पता है कि 6 से 14 साल तक के बच्चों को कंपलसरी और फ्री एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करना हमारा फंडामेंटल राइट है. अंडर आर्टिकल 21A इट इज फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी एंड इट इज आल्सो आवर DPSP डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी. So Right to Education 2009 Act majorly focus on the compulsory education for 6 to 14 years child. So what is the major purpose of RTE? To provide compulsory education for 6 to 14 years child. Now there are some other points which is focused in basically this act. So this act was passed in 2009 but it was enforced on 1st of April 2010. This date is also very important for any competitive exams and Uttar Pradesh became the first state to adopt the RTE 2009. As we all know, Punjab, Telangana, Kerala or West Bengal have not yet implemented the right to education policy, but Uttar Pradesh became the first state to adopt this policy. Clear? Okay. What is the other key feature of Right to Education Act 2009? The first major key feature is to provide free and compulsory education for 6 to 14 years child. The second feature is basically the benchmark mandate. This is also a very important point. The right to education lay down norms and standards related to the pupil teachers ratio, means number of children's per teacher, classroom, separate toilet for boys and girls, drinking water facilities, as well as it focus on number of school working days, working hours of teachers. Each and every elementary schools, primary or middle school in India has to compile with the set of norms to maintain minimum standard by the Right to Education Act. The Right to Education Act 2009 also basically focus on special provision for special cases. Means, let's suppose it mandate that an out of school child should be admitted to an age appropriate class and provide with special training to enable the child to come up age appropriate learning level. Clear? The next focus of RT is to quantity and quality of teachers. Means there must be a proportional ratio of teachers and students, and teachers must be well qualified. Also, the next basically key feature of Right to Education Act 2009 is zero tolerance against discrimination and harassment. Improving learning outcome to minimize tension, and it's also focus on ensuring all round development of the children. Clear? Okay. So this information was shared by Union Minister of State for Education Jayant Chaudhary in Rajya Sabha that till now Punjab, Telangana, Kerala and West Bengal have not implemented this policy. Education fall under the concurrent list. What is concurrent list? बेसिकली जब हम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पढ़ते हैं तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में शेड्यूल 7 के अंदर 3 लिस्ट एक्सप्लेन की गई है, द कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट, द स्टेट लिस्ट एंड द यूनियन लिस्ट. द यूनियन लिस्ट मींस द उसके अंदर वो सब्जेक्ट एक्सप्लेन किए गए हैं जहां पर सिर्फ यूनियन गवर्नमेंट के पास राइट है टू मेकिंग लॉज एंड रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन. स्टेट लिस्ट में स्टेट के पास राइट्स एंड कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट में स्टेट एंड सेंटर दोनों के पास राइट है टू मेक रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन. So as we all know, education falls under the concurrent list, means state government as well as center government have right to make rules and regulation. It allows state to create their own rules under the Right to Education Act, but these states have not done so yet. These means Punjab, Telangana, Kerala and West Bengal. Clear? So we have discussed Right to Education Act 2009. Also we have discussed that recently Jayant Chaudhary released a data in Rajya Sabha that Punjab, Telangana, Kerala and West Bengal have not implemented these policy. Now let's move to our next news. The next news is also a national news. Recently, Sameer. What is Sameer? There is a full form of Sameer. Examiner can simply ask that what is the full form of Sameer? The Society for Applied Microwave Electronic Engineering and Research. S refers to society, A refers to applied, M refers to microwave, EE refers to electronic engineering and research. तो समीर ट्रांसफर माइक्रोवेव शुगर मेजरमेंट टेक टू प्राइवेट फर्म्स. तो समीर ने क्या किया है, माइक्रोवेव शुगर मापक तकनीक को निजी फर्मों को हस्तांतरित किया है. तो लेट्स डिकोड द न्यूज. इस न्यूज को समझते हैं, क्या एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इंपॉर्टेंट बन सकता है. तो फर्स्ट इज समीर. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ समीर, द सोसाइटी फॉर अप्लाइड माइक्रोवेव इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इंजीनियरिंग एंड रिसर्च. So Sameer and R&D Institute, which is work under the Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology, has signed a transfer of technology which is known as TOT agreement with Toshinwal Highway Private Limited and Sir Automotive Industries. So you have to remember that Sameer and RD's, which is working under the Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology, has signed a TOT transfer of technology agreement with Toshinwal and Sir Automotive Industry. What is the purpose of this agreement? This agreement will enable the large scale production of microwave based bricks measurement system which measures sugar concentration in real time during sugar production. तो बेसिकली इस समझौते से क्या होगा, इस एग्रीमेंट के थ्रू क्या होगा, जो लार्ज स्केल प्रोडक्शन है माइक्रोवेव बेस्ड ब्रिक्स मेजरमेंट की सिस्टम की, विच मेजर शुगर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इन रियल टाइम ड्यूरिंग sugar production. Clear? Next is our national news, which is related to the defense also. What is the news? इंडिया एडवांस न्यूक्लियर सबमरीन कैपेबिलिटी, भारत ने परमाणु पनडुब्बी क्षमताओं में प्रगति की है. First, what are submarine? Basically, submarines are those basically we can say these are the pandubbis which are working for which generally work for, जो work करती हैं हमारी basically नेवी के लिए. Clear? So India is about to commission its second nuclear powered ballistic missile submarine known as Arighat. Now यहां पर कहा जा रहा है कि भारत अपनी दूसरी परमाणु ऊर्जा से चलने वाली बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल, जिसे आईएनएस अरिघाट कहा गया है, चालू करने वाला है. अब यहाँ पे दूसरी की बात हो रही है, तो यू हैव टू बेसिकली नो द फर्स्ट सब पावर न्यूक्लियर पावर बैलिस्टिक सब मिसाइल. द फर्स्ट न्यूक्लियर पावर बैलिस्टिक सब मिसाइल वॉज अरिहंत. तो अरिहंत वॉज द फर्स्ट nuclear power ballistic submissile which was launched in 2009 and it was commissioned in 2016. Basically there is a meaning of the Arihant. Arihant means Ari means enemy, Hunt means destroyer. So this was the first nuclear power ballistic missile submarine. Now Arighat became the second. Arighat क्या बन गई है? Second nuclear power ballistic missile submarine बन गई है. And has received approval to build 6 more nuclear submarine to strengthen its maritime defense. The Indian Navy is preparing to commission INS Arighat, which is nearing the end of its trial and upgrade. तो अरिहंत हम ऑलरेडी कमीशन कर चुके हैं 2016 में. नाउ वी विल कमीशन अरिघाट इन आने वाले कुछ समय में. और उसके अलावा भारत को परमिशन मिल गई है, वो 6 और न्यूक्लियर सबमरीन स्ट्रेंथ कर सकता है, बना सकता है. क्लियर? ओके. नाउ नेक्स्ट नेशनल न्यूज. Recently, Government of India restored diamond impressed license for gems and jewelry sectors. The Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has announced the restoration of diamond impressed license to boost India's gems and jewelry store. तो भारत के जेम्स और ज्वेलरी स्टोर को बूस्ट करने के लिए रिसेंटली पीयूष गोयल ने रिस्टोरेशन ऑफ डायमंड imprint license basically जारी किया to boost India gem and jewelry sector. Basically, this impressed license allowed duty-free import of cut and polished diamond up to 5% of exporter turnover. This decision was made during the Indian International Jewelry Show, which is known as IIJS 2024, which was organized by Gem and Jewelry Export Promotion Council. This policy change aimed to address issue related to diamond import and improve India's export competitiveness. Clear? The government restored diamond impress license for gem and jewelry sector. Now, next news is international news. Recently, India and New Zealand signed a bilateral custom cooperation agreement. तो भारत और न्यूजीलैंड ने क्या साइन किया है? सीमा शुल्क सहयोग समझौते पर एक्सरसाइज किया. तो इंडिया एंड न्यूजीलैंड हैव साइन अ बायलैटरल कस्टम कोऑपरेशन एग्रीमेंट टू मेक ट्रेड बिटवीन द टू कंट्रीज इजियर. ताकि ट्रेड ड्यूटीज को कम किया जा सके, इंडिया एंड न्यूजीलैंड के बीच में इजिली ट्रेड हो सके, इसलिए इन्होंने कस्टम कोऑपरेशन एग्रीमेंट साइन किया है. This agreement was signed in Wellington on August 8, 2024 during President Draupadi Murmu's official visit to New Zealand. So recently we all know that Draupadi Murmu visited to New Zealand, and during this visit she signed an agreement with New Zealand. This is a bilateral custom cooperation agreement to basically make trade between the two countries easier. Clear? Next is business news. Recently, UPI merchant transaction in Nepal crossed 10 lakh milestone. So NPCI International Payment Limited has achieved a significant milestone by surpassing 10 lakh cross-border unified payment interface, which is known as UPI. And this is type of person to merchant, not person to person or person to merchant to merchant. It is a person to merchant transaction in Nepal. NIPL is the international arm of National Payment Corporation of India. So, and this is a part, basically, International Payment Limited is a part of National Payment Corporation of India, which was established in 2008. Next is appointment news. We all know our finance secretary is TV Somanathan. So recently, TV Somanathan has been appointed as the new cabinet secretary. So senior IAS officer TV Somanathan has been appointed as the new cabinet secretary of India, taking over from Rajiv Gauba. So previously, Rajiv Gauba was the cabinet secretary. Now, Rajiv Gauba was replaced by TV Somanathan, and TV Somanathan became the new cabinet secretary. Somanathan will start his 2-year term on August 30, 2024 to August 30, 2026, and will also serve as officer on special duty in the cabinet secretary until he officially assumed the role of cabinet secretary. Let's move to the next news, which is related to awards. Recently, Shah Rukh Khan received lifetime award at Locarno Film Festival. The Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan, also known as King Khan, received a lifetime achievement award at 77th Locarno Film Festival, which was conducted on August 10. He delivered his acceptance speech to an audience of 8,000 and Locarno famous Paisa Grande. So you have to simply remember that Shah Rukh Khan received lifetime award at Locarno Film Festival. Next is books and author. Recently book launch. The book name is Spotlight 75 Great Revolutionaries of India. The Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh Narayan Singh attended the launch of the book 75 Great Revolutionaries of India, which was written by MP Bhim Singh. The 75 Great Revolutionaries of India, this is a book which was written by MP Bhim Singh, and it was launched by basically Harivansh Narayan Singh, who is the Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Clear? The Singh praised the book for highlighted lesser known freedom fighters and said it aimed to inspire a developed India by recognizing historical sacrifice. Next is agreement news. Recently, Ministry of External Affairs and News Space India Limited signed MOU for launch of Nepalese Munar satellite. So the Ministry of External Affairs and News Space India Limited, the commercial arm of ISRO, have signed a memorandum of understanding to launch Nepal Munar satellite. The MOU was signed on Saturday with Anurag Srivastav, Joint Secretary from MEA, and Arunachalam, a director from NSIL, representing their organization. So simply, Ministry of External Affairs and Newspaper India Limited signed a MOU. These both are the commercial arm of ISRO, and they basically launch Nepal Munar satellite. Next is defense news. Exercise Udan Shakti. This is Strength India Malaysia Air Force Cooperation. So the bilateral air exercise. So Udan Shakti is a air exercise. Udan Shakti 24 between Indian Air Force and Royal Malaysian Air Force concludes successfully on August 9, 2024. The exercise hosted by RMAF at its base in Kuantan, Malaysia. So where this exercise was conducted? This exercise was conducted in Malaysia, and it marks a significant milestone in military cooperation between two countries. Clear? तो एक्सरसाइज उड़ान शक्ति आपको याद रखनी है. क्या क्या पॉइंट यहां से आप याद रख सकते हैं? इट इज अ एयरफोर्स एक्सरसाइज कंडक्टेड बिटवीन इंडिया और मलेशिया. भारत और मलेशिया के बीच में हुई और कहां पर कंडक्ट की गई है? ये मलेशिया में कंडक्ट की गई है. डन. नेक्स्ट न्यूज इज रिलेटेड टू ऑब्चुरीज. Former YouTube CEO Suzanne Wojcicki passed away after battle with cancer. So Suzanne Wojcicki, basically she was the former YouTube CEO. She recently passed away at the age of 56 after a 2-year battle with cancer. His husband Dennis Topper confirmed the news on August 9. Suzanne was the CEO of YouTube from 2014 to 2023 and had a net worth estimated at the rate $765 million in 2022. तो आपको सिंपल याद रखना है सुजान वोजसिस्की किस चीज से रिलेटेड थी. शी वाज द फॉर्मर यूट्यूब सीईओ. Recently she passed away. Next is former foreign minister Natwar Singh passed away. So former external affair minister Natwar Singh passed away at the age of 95 due to prolonged illness on 10th of August. He took his last breath at Medanta Hospital in Gurgaon. So former foreign minister नटवर लाल सिंह passed away. तो क्वेश्चन इस तरह से फ्रेम हो सकता है कि नटवर लाल सिंह जिनकी अभी डेथ हुई है वो किस चीज से रिलेटेड थे, पॉलिटिक्स से रिलेटेड थे, स्पोर्ट्स से रिलेटेड थे या XYZ. So he was a politician. Next is important is World Biofuel Day 2024 with the theme of advancing sustainable energy solution. तो विश्व जैव ईंधन दिवस सेलिब्रेट किया गया है. So World Biofuel Day is observed annually on 10th of August to commemorate the achievement of German engineer Sir Rudolf Diesel, who successfully operated an engine using peanut oil on August 9, 1893. This day highlights the importance of biofuel as sustainable energy sources and their potential in addressing climate change and reducing dependency on fossil fuels. Next is International Youth Day. Every year on 12th of August, we do celebrate International Youth Day. So हर साल 12 अगस्त को हम इंटरनेशनल यूथ डे सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, contributing of young people to society and also address the challenges they face. What is the theme of International Youth Day 2024? The theme is From Click to Progress, Youth Digital Pathway for Sustainable Development. Emphasize the role of digital technology in advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Clear? So International Youth Day, 12th of August. And today's last news is, which is miscellaneous news, Neil Kurinji. Basically, the endangered purple bloom of Western Ghat. So recently, Neil Kurinji, a unique flower shrub native to the montane grassland of southwest India, has been added to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, which is known as IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. अभी IUCN ने नील कुरिंजी को अपनी लाल सूची में शामिल किया. लाल सूची से मतलब है ये जो स्पीसीज है लाल सूची में रेड लिस्ट में शामिल होती है, उसका मतलब है वो एंडेंजर्ड कंडीशन में कभी भी विलुप्त हो सकती है, उनकी प्रोटेक्शन की रिक्वायरमेंट है. This basically flower is known for its mass blooming once over 12 years. तो ये 12 साल में एक बार बड़े पैमाने पर खिलता है. This iconic plant has been classified as the vulnerable according to the IUCN criteria. मतलब ये अभी संकटग्रस्त है, कभी भी ये प्लांट विलुप्त हो सकता है. Clear? So these were the important news we have discussed now. I hope you understand this session. Thank you.